Okay, boys and girls, this is the update to the LS3 525 Connect and Cruise install on the 87 Monte Carlo. Last we left, the engine was not in. It is now installed. As you can see, the wiring harnesses have been run. Pretty much taken care of all that. I'll get underneath there and show you how I attach that, but here's your original wiring harness here. That connects to this block down here. All you need from your original wiring harness from the engine side is your starter wires and your AC wires. AC wires are right here. You'll have to wire them into your compressor. I haven't done that yet, but there's the wires. Then you got the other end of the harness here that plugs into your AC system. So that's all intact. All this is the engine Connect and Cruise harness. That's in and plugged in underneath the bottom. Pretty simple, went in there pretty quickly, but except for the engine energy suspension motor mounts, you had to cut the ends off of them. Right here, the tabs that stick out on there, they wouldn't go in the clamshell, so it took a while to figure that out. There was some comments about having problems with the steering gear and the power steering pump connection. Not a problem. I guess that's because this is the Corvette belt system. And with that, again, with that AC system, what you run into there is you run into getting one belt. They send you an idler pulley and you just switch the tensioner around with the idler pulley, and that allows you to get the one belt system. So that pretty much takes care of the engine install. I had to run the harnesses. I did that this morning, and I'll get underneath the car here and show you how that laid out. As you can see here, all that's in place. The grounds are bolted in over here and there. All the harnesses are tucked up out of the way so the transmission can go in there. When you're using a GM transmission, you do not need this speed sensor wire. You can take it out because the computer from the Connect and Cruise has another speed sensor with it. So that's everything plugged in. Again, with your original wiring harness, so you need all these wires right here for your starter. So again, you need from the firewall, you need your starter wires and your AC wires and your AC hookup. Outside of that, the Connect and Cruise provides everything else in their harness. So that takes care of that. I put the heat shield underneath there, got that squared away. Getting ready to install the transmission today. I've got the cross members here. They're both G-force cross members. The one closest here to me, that's the one I had with the 700R4. You can see there's a little bit of modifications in the height, etc. Well, there was some floor clearance problems with this. Don't look like they're going to be the same with the other. And also, if you look at this center mounting hole, you got two slots here. Alright, and you got a single slot here. Well, that's fine if you got just one bolt mount, and that's an older energy suspension mount would mount that way. But this design gives you two slots, really necessary for the LS, because the LS, the 460 and 470 transmission are a longer transmission. So this is their answer to that at G-force cross members, is this adjustable mount. This side goes to your transmission, this side goes down to the cross member, and then you've got a plate that goes in the hole here for a washer to bolt this down to. So that gives you either an inch or 2 inches slide back and forth on the cross member in order to meet up with your transmission. I'll do another update on that once I get it installed to show you what's going on there and let you know whatever problems I might have, or what. I don't think there's going to be any. It looks like it's going to be a pretty easy install, and with the modifications and the update on the cross member, that should make it quite nice. If you can see the height difference in those. So there's just a little bit of difference between the old style and the new style, and it mainly comes down to that transmission crossmember mount there in the middle, and the height of those humps. So if you look at the transmission, this is the transmission. You're going to have a few issues there. First of all, you're going to have a fitting that goes in here. Those are 9/16 by 18 threads per inch. So it's 9/16 by 18, and that's a ANN 6 fitting. Here's a Holley Performance. It says it's for a carburetor, but it's with an O-ring, and that's the correct part number there for that. So that takes care of that. That's what you need to screw in the side of the transmission. Some people say that the 700 R4 will work. I didn't find that to be true. This is a package that you can get on Amazon. That's the part number there. That's a transmission bell housing to engine mount to go around the bell housing. That's the correct part numbers there, and they send you the 7 bolts for that. So that's something else that you're going to need. On the connect and cruise, you got the wiring harness and the computer. You got one here, that's the main frame, and then you got the other one here, which is the speed sensor. So that's really all there is to that. It's pretty cut and dried. This is the converter that come with the transmission from GM Connect and Cruise. One little disappointing thing there is it says it's remanufactured, and so does the label here. And they give you even special paperwork telling you that's what the case is. But they do send the torque converter bolts, the correct torque converter bolts for that. So that pretty much wraps that part of it up. That's the transmission, and again, it looks like a 460, but they're saying it's a 470 E, and it's got extra clutches and different hardened hubs inside of it. So it's supposed to be able to take the punishment. So that's the Connect and Cruise transmission torque converter. That's your G-force crossmember. You can go to crossmembers.com or advanced resources on the internet to find that. And once I get the transmission installed, I'll show you some video of that, what's going on with that. Again, the crossmember comes with all the hardware that you need. You're going to have to make sure that you got the right tail housing bolts though to go up in the back of this crossmember slide right here, because they vary from transmission to transmission. That's not something they could provide. So again, I appreciate everyone subscribing. We're moving along quite nicely now. The wiring harnesses are in and inside the car, so I'll give you another update soon. Hope you all have a great day. I appreciate your views. Thanks.